Hey yo, what's up everybody? It's that time again. It's Friday. I don't have my watch on. It's Friday. Welcome everyone once again to the latest edition of the Weekend Wrap-Up. I'm the Duke. This one's actually going out to everybody. Whether you support me on Patreon or Coffee or not, you get this video. So, because it's a new month, it's October, and yeah, I can feel it. It's chilly. The leaves are turning and falling. It's getting spoopy out there, folks. Delicious. So yeah, it's October, new month. If you're brand new to this whole thing, first off, welcome. Second off, thank you. Third off, here's the way it works. Every Friday, most Fridays, I do this. I tell you about, I do the weekend wrap-up. So the weekend wrap-up, what it entails is what I worked on in the week past, what I hope to work on looking forward. Is that back? Forward? I don't know. Week past, behind, looking forward, week ahead, what I hope to work on. And then I usually end with some sort of engage the audience question. How about you? Try to keep these around 10 or 15 minutes. I don't want to waste your time. I want to be quick, snappy, entertaining, maybe. Definitely don't want to waste your time, though, because you're already, hopefully, providing me with your hard-earned money. I don't want to steal your time, too. So, there you have it. You're all caught up now. So on this week on the wrap-up, I've been working on a commission, a very special commission. I haven't said it on the socials yet, because one thing, I want to make sure that my commissioner is okay with it. But I think I can say it here because this is a relatively small audience. I've been working on a commission for Jamar Nicholas, who, if you don't know, let me edumacate you. Jamar has been a comic artist, cartoonist, artist. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what preferred nomenclature is. He's been drawing funnies for going on 30 years, I believe. But if you've never heard of him, you're about to right now because I'm telling you about him. But he just recently signed a deal with Scholastic. If you've never heard of Scholastic, wow. But maybe, you know what, maybe you're overseas. Scholastic is a company that publishes children's books. Basically books for anyone who's not an adult. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So Scholastic, if you are in the U.S., maybe they do it in Canada too, possibly. But growing up, if you went to public school, you remember the Scholastic book club flyer. Usually came every month. The teachers handed it out, and it was just, a simple 2-page newspaper, full color newspaper flyer. Maybe sometimes it was 3 pages. Sometimes it had a staple in there if it was like a special big one or something. But a newspaper flyer full of books geared towards your grade level. And so you could take this flyer and you could pick out the books you wanted and then give it back to your teacher with a check from your parents, and then like 3 to 5 weeks later, the teachers would hand out your books in class, and it was oh my god, it's amazing. They still do it. So anyway, Scholastic, that company that did the book club flyers, so they publish, among other things, they publish the Dogman books, the Captain Underpants books. They publish the Bone books. And in fact now they even publish graphic novels of the Babysitter's Club. If you're of a certain age, you remember the Babysitter's Club. So that's their pedigree. Just recently, this past week, on October 4th actually, the first in a series of hopefully many, but the first book that Jamar wrote and arted, called Leon the Extraordinary, that came out, published by Scholastic. So all that to say, if you don't know who Jamar Nicholas is, now you know. But he's a commissioner. He commissioned some dice from me, and we kind of, he kind of had an idea in mind, but we kind of went back and forth, and we settled on something. Basically, it's a set of 6d6 with pips, not numbers. So one more than a set of Yahtzee dice, basically. But my dice ain't no bicycle dice that you're pulling off the rack at your local game store. This 66 are special because they're Leon colors. So Leon is a superhero, basically, and one of his color scheme is heavily green. And so I wanted these to be Leon dice, and that was kind of my own idea. Although I think Jamar really likes green just in general, so it's bonus. But anyway, so those are actually in the pot, off camera, down there right now. They're not all in the pot, because I did a couple. Actually, I poured them yesterday? No, the day before. So when was that? Wednesday? Yeah. Poured them Wednesday. Poured all 6. 3 came out. The other 3 had voids. But I can show these. First time ever. First time ever on camera. Oh my god, cats. I'm sorry, you probably can't hear it, but you just think I'm nuts. For real? Oh my god. Sorry, Jamar dropped her dice. So yeah, so these are 3 of the 2b6 Leon dice. They're super cool. You doesn't really show up on camera. Maybe it does. There's this kind of nebula or galaxy effect in there. Oh my god, they're so awesome. So they're still unpolished. You can see there's some flashing there that I need to get on the edges that I need to get rid of. So they're not finished, they're not inked. And there's only 3 of them. There should be 6. So the other 3 off camera down there in the pressure pot, I need to pull them today. So basically what I did, and I'm hoping it worked, because they had voids. Basically a void is when you pour, because you've got your mold, right? And you pour the resin into the mold and you put the top on. If there's air trapped in that resin, the pressure pot squeezes it out. But what happened is if you have too much air, and even if you fill that resin all, in your mold all the way to the top and even a little bit over, but when you put that cap on it, it compresses it. If there's too much air in here, it gets squeezed out, and then even if the resin was up here, it dips down, leaving you with this hole in the top. That's what happened on 3 of them. I don't know why it didn't happen on the other 3. Whatever, I don't know. I'm not a scientist. So anyway, according to the internets, if I had pulled them before they were fully cured and noticed the void, I could have poured new resin on top, and it would have molded together like glue. That didn't happen. They cured. So instead, what I did to get resin to stick to resin, sanded it down. Sanded down in the crevasse. Sanded the tops down just in case. And then poured resin on top of that. So hopefully, what happens is that sticked. Yeah, that sticked. That stuck. And those 3 dice are usable, and I don't have to re-pour the whole thing. Fingers crossed. The other thing, I'm actually working on two commissions right now, folks. So besides for Jamar, which I'm going to throw a link to his Patreon. I'm going to throw a link to the Scholastic website. And heck, I'm going to throw a link to Amazon, too, to go buy the book. Because I bought it. It's incredible. The kid loves it. Like, this is a kid that enjoys reading Garfield. Which, I mean, come on. Garfield books and Dogman books. And, like, that's it. It's the only 2 books, like, he gets really hype about. But now you can add a 3rd book, because it's Leon. Like, this book showed up and he was like, "What's that? What are you reading? What is what?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, this is Leon. It just came today. You know, finish your schoolwork and then you can read it." And he finished his schoolwork and came right back, sat down, cracked it open, read it cover to cover. And it's like 270 pages, folks. Granted, it's, you know, graphic novel, so it's comic pages. But still, like, this is a kid that will read, like I said, Garfield and Dogman, and that's it. But now he's read Leon twice, mind you, front to back, 1 sitting each. So two whole sittings, read it twice. So if you got kids, even if you don't, it's a fantastic read. Go get it. I'll throw the link down. Anyway, the other thing I've got in that pressure pot over there is another commission of some fully custom dice. So actually modeled, 3D modeled, printed, and am now molding some custom dice for another commission. So things are happening, folks. Oh, by the way, my commissions are still open. So I'm going to throw a link down there to my coffee commissions page. So if you want some custom dice, hit me up. I'll make them for you. I'll talk about them on this show. So I know I'm running very quickly out of time. So like I said, don't want to waste your time. Week ahead, I'm looking forward to finishing up both of those commissions. Hopefully get both of those commissions out the door by the end of next week. So 1 week from today. Get those out the door. Other than that, I mean, it's gonna be quite a bit of work. So I think that's pretty much everything I'm gonna be working on. I don't have anything else kind of in the pipeline, except for maybe molding these. So I did get these finally finished up. So this is an insert die with I don't know if the camera will pick it up, with a 3D bear. It's so cool looking. And then so that's the inclusion. And then this is the outer die. It hasn't been cleaned up. You'll see there's some resin goo. Because I just polished these. Where's the blank face? So there's a blank face. Numbers except for the high face is blank. So the bear is going to go, inside right there. I think it's going to be super cool. I've seen a handful of other dice makers do that, and it's fantastic looking. So hope mine, maybe I'll get those in molds. We'll see. So that's, we did the week in review. We look forward to the week ahead. So the question for all of you, sip of coffee. The question for all of you, since we're talking about books. Oh my God, I actually have a question. I didn't even think about it, but I actually have a question. For long-time viewers of the show, I spend usually what seems like several minutes, probably just 15, 20 seconds, but just kind of sitting here. What's the question? I actually have a question this time. It just popped right in there. Stay Puft Marshmallow. So the question for all of you this week, since we were talking about books, since I went on and on about Leon, but it really is that good. Like, I'm not blowing smoke. I don't get paid to say that. Leon is fantastic. Go get it. Throw the link down there. Anyway, since we were talking about books, what's your favorite book? Not necessarily like right now. Actually, I am more interested in what was your favorite book or book series when you were a kid, when you were growing up, in your formative years. I'll tell you mine. I really liked in my actual formative years, like when I was getting to the point where I was like, books are great. I have to read everything, read all the things. Goosebumps. I don't know. Goosebumps was the ish, man. Like, I remember going to the library like once a week, and granted, a new book didn't come out. I think it was maybe every month, maybe every other month. Which shout out to R.L. Stine for like that level of production, because like I write. It's hard. It's time consuming. Anyway, whenever there was a new Goosebumps book, I had to go to the library, had to get it. And often I would get, if there wasn't one, I would get older books and reread them more than once. So yeah, Goosebumps was absolutely it for me, and I rolled from there into Fear Street and other book series and fantasy books, Discworld and Zan novels, and now I read stuff like the Dresden Files and things like that. So anyway, what's your favorite book or book series when you were growing up? Let me know. And how can you let me know? Oh, comment on the Patreon, comment on the Coffee. Can't comment on YouTube. YouTube comments suck. But yeah, let me know what was your favorite book or book series growing up. So that's it for me. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this episode. And to, be kind to each other. We're all we got. Until next week. Peace.